In today's video, we're going to be looking at the secret strategy that allowed Vanessa Lau to explode her Instagram to over 150,000 targeted engaged followers that makes her millions of dollars per year. Now, you might know Vanessa from her successful YouTube channel, her Instagram, her blog, or maybe somewhere else. But she's built up one of the strongest personal brands in the social media marketing space. And she's done this with some absolutely great content. And today I'm going to show you how she built her audience on Instagram and reveal the secret strategy that she used to practically explode overnight. And I don't mean that she exploded on her first day, but she went from small amount of results to smashing it with this tactic. And this is a growth strategy that anyone can use, and I don't think I've seen anyone else on YouTube talk about or teach, aside from Vanessa herself very briefly. And this one very simple strategy increased her growth over 10,000% in the space of a month, which is absolutely crazy, so let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to bore you by spending a whole ton of time looking at the basics, so I'll just quickly cover those and then we'll get into the juicy stuff. So yes, she knows her target audience, who she's trying to reach. She puts out content that will genuinely help those people. She follows these simple but effective long-term growth strategies like hashtags, $80, targeted engagement, and so forth. And she really focuses on building a community of people who love her content and enjoy what she has to offer and can learn a ton from her. And all of these fundamentals that make a great profile that convert profile visits into followers, followers into fans, and fans into customers, which at the end of the day is the goal for her, me, and many of you, to build an audience that turns into customers for our businesses. But that alone will only get you so far, as it's all well and good to have a great profile that converts profile visits into followers, followers into fans, fans into customers. But if you're not driving a ton of profile visits, it sort of is redundant and it doesn't help you a lot. You need to have both a solid profile that converts as well as solid growth strategies that get your profile in front of more people, which we're going to cover her strategy for this later in the video. Now, usually one of the best ways to get your profile in front of more people right now is to create shareable content that people tag their friends in, send to their friends, and send to their story. But the majority of her content, whilst it was great, it was often a lot of photos of herself with really in-depth, insightful captions, which aren't super shareable. And whilst nowadays she has very shareable content, back when she started growing, it was a lot of good content, but it wasn't super shareable. And as a result, she was only growing a handful of followers per day. So I've pulled up Vanessa's Social Blade stats, and you can see it's her account, vanessalau.co. We can look at her total follower growth here. So we can see in October of 2018, she had 7,355 followers. In November, she went up to 7,462, which is an increase of 107 followers. By December, she went up to 7,555, December of 2018 that is, which means she gained another 90 followers. And then in January, she went up to January of 2019, she went up to 7,635 followers, which is another 83 followers. And in total, she's got, as you can see, 7,635 followers, growing between these 3 to 4 months at about 3 followers per day, which is a solid effort, but nothing spectacular, gaining 3 followers a day. But this is before her clever growth strategy, so I'm going to get into that soon. Now, in this tab here, I've pulled up Vanessa's YouTube Social Blade stats, and we can see that in the month of October 2018, 6,637 views. In November, she got 9,452 views. In December, 13,452 views, so averaging about 10,000 views per month on her channel. Where again, similar to her Instagram, she was teaching Instagram tips, social media growth, and sort of all that sort of stuff. Similar to what I talk about on my channel nowadays. And I assume at the time, this is where a lot of her Instagram growth was coming from. If she was getting 10,000 views, 1% of them went to her Instagram, that works out to about 100 followers per month. And I'm sure she also gained some on Instagram, which then went to her YouTube. But then on January 16th, 2019, this all changed. And you might be wondering why I'm looking at her YouTube stats, and that is all about to make sense, because here is the smart and secret growth strategy that not a lot of people use to grow their audience, and that is YouTube. Vanessa created searchable content on her YouTube channel. This would rank well, and then her target audience, who she's trying to get in front of, would search for these terms, for these questions, for these phrases every single day, find her videos, and then come watch those videos, and the people who love that content, some of them would then follow through to her Instagram to go on and follow her and become a fan there as well, which is an extremely smart strategy that not a lot of people actually do, and I think is one of the most powerful combinations of social media in the modern day. And this way, the followers who found her Instagram were extremely targeted. They loved her already because they'd probably already seen 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 of her YouTube videos and already knew, liked, and trusted her, which overcomes a lot of the initial barriers when someone finds you. Do they trust you? Are you legitimate? And so forth. On January 16th, 2019, she uploaded this video here, how to gain Instagram followers organically. And instantly, this video was a hit. She was either the first or one of the first people to make a video on this topic and make it really well. Great lighting, great editing, great tips, and just great engaging content in general. She was also very good on camera, and that made for a very good video. And this here allowed her to be the #1 ranked video on this extremely popular term that at the time there was a lot of people searching for, but not a lot of content out there about. Nowadays, if you search how to grow on Instagram, you're gonna get hit with a million videos. 2 years ago when she made this, there was likely only a handful, meaning they got really good watch time and ranked #1. Now, diving back to her social blade, we can see that even though this video was uploaded halfway through the month on the 16th, she went from getting 13,000 views in December on her channel. Video goes up halfway through January and her views go up to 135,000. Then the next month of February, where the video was live for the full month, close to 1 million views with 775,000 views this month on her channel. And as we can see on her social blade, ever since then, she's averaged anywhere from, on a low month, about 600,000 views, up to some months peaking at 1.3 million views on her channel. With this one video alone on her channel, almost at 6 million views, making up a third of her total channel views. So guess what happened to her Instagram account after this video? The same growth. Vanessa's niche on Instagram is Instagram growth tips, similar to mine. And every day, tens of thousands of people would search how to grow on Instagram into YouTube or Google. And the first result that would show up every time would be this video from Vanessa. So it ranked at the #1 spot. People watched the video, they enjoyed it, they got value out of it, and then that trickled down to some of those people going and following her Instagram account, where they could get more similar information. Now, diving back into her social blade stats, as you can see on the screen here on her Instagram, she went from gaining about 100 followers a month to, in that month, January to February, gaining 1,700 followers, most of which came in the second half of the month, meaning she gained about 1,500 followers in the last 15 days of the month, equaling about 100 followers per day growth. Then if we keep looking, in February, she then doubled her total follower count, going from 9,000 followers to just shy of 18,000 followers, meaning she'd gained about 300 followers per day for that month, which is an increase of 10,000% on what she was previously doing. That is 100 times what she was averaging before, 3 followers per day to 300 followers per day. And ever since then, if we look at the social blade graph, she's gained anywhere from 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, anywhere from 5 to 10,000 followers per month on her Instagram since. And I presume the majority of that has come thanks to these YouTube videos that she's been putting out, which her target audience are finding, enjoying, and then flowing onto her Instagram. Now, to prove this theory, all you have to do is take a look at her social blade accounts. You can see that her Instagram and YouTube are practically identical when you look at the numbers. Her growth exploded on both her Instagram and YouTube at the exact same time, which was the day that she posted this video. As well as this, you can see that the monthly follower growth of both her Instagram and YouTube peaked in May and July of 2020, and both also dropped off at the same rate in June of 2020. So they seem to be going hand in hand. And you can see that as she hasn't uploaded to her YouTube channel in the past 30 days, her YouTube views have dropped off slightly, and so has therefore her Instagram growth, which goes to show that the majority of her audience growth is coming from posting searchable content to her YouTube channel, having her target audience find her that way, and then coming to her Instagram, which is very clever. Now, Vanessa's strategy is both unique and smart. Instead of competing for eyeballs on Instagram, she goes out there, creates search-friendly content on YouTube, people find her, they find her content, they love it, they watch a bunch more, and then they go to her Instagram, and she can build up an audience of the most loyal followers because she's only getting the cream of the crop to her Instagram. People watch her YouTube videos, the ones that love her, the one that watch them all the way through, go forward and find her on Instagram. So it's like the most engaged people are there on her Instagram. And this is also where she can turn them into customers because she can have a more personal one-to-one feel. She can respond to their DMs. She can talk to them in the comment section. And she can do that much better than you can do on YouTube, where it's just sort of videos that you put together once. And this allows her to make a great income through her coaching and courses that she sells. And she actually talks about this strategy that I've just pointed out in her video on her YouTube channel, where she talks about how she went from 0 to over 100,000 followers on Instagram. Sadly, that video showing the actual strategy behind her massive Instagram success got 300,000 views compared to the 6 million of the previous video, although both great videos with lots of tips that you should definitely check out. Now, I do want to make this clear. This video is not a criticism of Vanessa for growing her Instagram by being a YouTuber rather than growing her Instagram by using Instagram, considering that is her niche. This is a smart strategy and she's absolutely crushed it. I just wanted to put this video together to show you the real ways that she has grown her audience, which pretty much 99% of her growth on Instagram comes down to building up her YouTube channel, which anyone out there can go ahead and do. Your timing might not be as good as hers, your ability to make great YouTube videos may not be as good as hers, but you can get started and you can get advantage of this technique. Now, the key takeaway from this video should be to create searchable content in your niche, whether it be a blog, whether it be a YouTube channel, whether it be a podcast, that people can then search for your content, find your content, enjoy it, and then trickle down to your Instagram. You can go to the effort of making an incredible piece of content once, and then it can bring you followers, fans, and income for years to come, as we can see Vanessa has done here. And so that wraps up today's video on how Vanessa built a massive audience that's turned into a 7-figure business on her Instagram by creating great YouTube content that's helped her explode. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and drop any suggestions for people you want to see next in the comment section down below. That's it from me. If you want to grab my free Instagram training, that's linked below. If you want to hire my agency to grow your Instagram and YouTube channel, there's links for that below as well. That's all. See you next time. Have a good one.